Okay. Happy Dussehra to everybody. Welcome. So before we know what Raavan is, who wants to kill the Raavan of their mind today? Think what is still bothering you. Just reflect upon yourself. Is it something that represents your state of mind in any time of the day or while interacting with somebody? And let me know. Let's discuss here and see if any faculty of your thought process falls into those 10 categories.
I don't want to affect it with anybody, what they are saying, what they are doing. I want to kill that thing.
Anger, right? Anger or frustration?
Not anger.
What is it?
It's like looking at the negative things of people.
Looking at negative things of people? Okay.
No. Somebody is saying something, somebody doing wrong, something wrong, like it not working, just pretending, that kind of thing. I don't want to affect myself seeing that.
Okay. So what happens? What do you mean by get affected? What happens to you?
I feel a bit uncomfortable, like why they are doing that.
Give that name to the feeling.
Upset, anger.
Not anger, upset kind of thing.
Upset is a mild form of anger, okay?
Okay.
It's inward, right? You're upset inside.
I just want to be observer, not the
Not get affected. Be an observer to whatever is going on around you.
I am egoistic, let's say. Or if I can kill that ego or the ahankara. Yeah, that's
Does it manifest with a particular person or a situation, or it's generally your thinking like that?
It's just about how I think, I can achieve a lot of things. I can get things done. I'm very resourceful. Like I feel like I can do anything. I have this feeling, so I feel like I need to get over that.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm really good at this and that, and I can do.
Okay. So that's that's more like a pride, mud.
Probably.
Yeah. It's not ahankar, it's more pride. What you maybe a project you've done well, you feel proud within your own self, right? Yeah. That's one of the heads. Yes, you're right. So for understanding the 10 heads of Raavan, you have to understand the story behind Raavan. So it's from the Purans. Puranic story is Raavan was Jay, gatekeeper of Vaikunt, okay? Vishnu's gatekeeper. I don't know if you know this story, but this is a very famous Puranic story. So he was Jay, and then there was another gatekeeper called Vijay. So Jay and Vijay were gatekeepers of Vaikunt. So the Vishnu was one time having a meeting with some sages called Sanat Kumar. There were 4 sages, and he said, nobody should disturb me. So then Rishi Durvasa came, and Durvasa is known for his anger. And Jay and Vijay did not allow Durvasa to enter Vaikunt or meet with Vishnu. So Durvasa is famous, gave a curse to Jay and Vijay that you'll be born on earth. So then they were very upset, and so Vishnu came out and he said that you should apply discretion when to say no to somebody. That has to be there. Now that karma has been done, okay, you've already said no to that rishi, and he was very angry, so I cannot undo his curse. But what I can do a little modification is either you can have 2 choices. You can have 100 lives where you're my devotee and then come back to Vaikunt after 100 lives, or you can be born as my enemy and 3 lifetimes and then come back to me and join in Vaikunt after 3 lifetimes. So Jay and Vijay were very fond of Vishnu, so they couldn't bear staying away from Vishnu for 100 lifetimes. So they thought, we'll just be born as enemy for 3 lifetimes and then join Vishnu back in Vaikunt. Okay, now this is all story. Don't take it literally. So first of all, there's always an action and there's always a consequence of an action. No matter, there's nothing good or bad. So this culture was so mature that it never categorized anybody as evil or good. Okay, I'll tell you how. So this Jay and Vijay were in Treta Yuga were born as Raavan and Kumbhakaran. Okay. And they were opposite of Rama. And they said that by our character, we'll show how karma plays a role. And so Ravan was very intelligent. So there are many stutis of Ravan also. Ravan was very intelligent. He was very well read, knowledgeable of all the Vedas. He was very strong, but he was an accumulator of not only knowledge, accumulator of wealth. And he was not only accumulator, he was a grabber. He wanted everything and anything in the world. He wanted to be the best in life. Okay. Sounds familiar? You all want our kids to be like that, isn't it? You always tell, do your best, get this, get that. But then through his character, he played a role where he had also these Shad Ripus, we call that 6 enemies of a mind. What are the 6 enemies of the mind? Kam, lust, Krodh, Moh is delusion, Mad is pride, Matsarya is jealousy, and Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh is greed, Mad and Matsarya. Mad is pride and Matsarya is jealousy. See, he had all these things together with his good qualities. Okay. So now Ravana was not bad. He was also worshipped by a lot of people. Even in South India, some of the temples we have for Ravana because of his knowledge. And he was a Shiva Bhakt. And he wrote he wrote Shiv Strotam or something, Tandav Strotam. So he was a very knowledgeable person. And he also got a boon from Shiva. But Ravan is a very good example of somebody who's opposite to spiritual growth. He wants to accumulate everything. Ram is totally opposite. Ram is, I don't want anything. I want to give away everything, right? So this stark contrast, but that doesn't mean we should categorize everybody as either good or bad. The shades of gray. So nobody is inherently good or bad. Their situations, their mind makes them choose certain things and their consequences of certain things. Okay. Ravan is something who doesn't stop. He has a lot of passion in whatever he does. Now, the second aspect to understand all these 6, what we call as enemies of mind, are actually the forces of nature. We all get anger. Okay. We all get lust, greed, everything. We are all, like you said, Kiran, we all have some of the other aspects of this. These are the forces of nature that all dominates our mind. But again, having Ram in the picture, it's an example that these natural forces of our mind should not be causing harm to others, right? And also should not be stopping you from doing good or from spiritual growth. Listen to all these stories with very open mind and never categorize anybody as good or bad. And try to go beyond even your own mind. Don't try to just categorize, oh my God, I'm so evil. I'm thinking this way. Don't categorize your own self. In every person, there's some shades of gray. Something is good, something can be bad. And sometimes situations make people bad too. Or they're just manifestation of a situation. Now, for example, sometimes how can these forces of nature be good also? You get angry on your teenagers, do you? Is it really bad or is it good for them? It may be good for them, but that anger should not be a deterrent for your spiritual growth. That anger should not increase your blood pressure. Okay? So that has to be kept in mind. So every action has consequences. You have to control these natural forces of nature, all these 6 attributes. And then now, why the 4 heads are called Man, Buddhi, Chit, Ahankar. Man is mind. So first you have to kill these attributes of the mind, which is detrimental to your spiritual growth. Okay. Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Mad, Matsarya, all the 6 enemies, so-called enemies of mind, or have them under control and utilize them as a force, not as an evil aspect of you. Okay. Second, after you have conquered these enemies, then you have to even go beyond your mind. That's what the other 4 heads symbolizes. Mind is an abode of thoughts. Okay. So you don't always dwell in your thoughts. Thoughts can be positive, negative, or mixed emotions. Intelligence is the faculty in which you discriminate what to choose. Okay. So and Chit is either willpower or memory. Okay. We dwell on our memory a lot. Ahankar is again ego. Ego, not like pride, but ego more of a identification with something. So why do you have to kill other 4 heads? killing four heads simply means you have to surrender your mind, intellect, the willpower, and ego, everything to God. And how do you do that practically? Because the whole pursuit of this journey, yoga journey or the spiritual growth, is going beyond mind, beyond your intellect, beyond your memory. Okay? Then only you can achieve that state. You can realize God. So what does practically means to attain that state where you kill your even mind or intellect? Two things. First is remove that bhava of kartapan. That means the doership. We always feel proud, right? We have done this. We have raised our kids so well. We maintain ourselves so well. We do daily yoga. All this pride, little, that comes and sits into our mind. Okay. So that feeling of doer should be just totally killed. Even if your child is very successful and you have paid a lot of attention on your child, you haven't done anything. The mother in you did everything, or the father in you did everything. It's a role you're playing. Maybe you're the best employee of your organization, but that feeling of doership, that I did it, that should be surrendered to that divinity within. Okay. The second, that whenever you're doing something, don't expect a result of that action that will be conducive to what you want. It can go either way. In either of the situation, whether it's towards you, it's in favor of you, the result, or out of your thought process, that means opposite to what you have thought. In both the cases, accept it as a prasad bhav. Accept the consequences of your action with a grateful attitude, with a gratitude. If you practice this in each and every aspect of your life will be transformed. That means that is the meaning of killing the other four heads. Man, buddhi, chitta, and ahankar. Okay. And third aspect, which I always say, being in the present moment, no matter what you're doing, that alone will take your focus out from the world or people's behavior to your own self. And that prevents the leakage of that energy that you're building up with your practice of meditation and yoga. And that alone will generate the momentum for you to reach that state of mind and go beyond mind, beyond intellect. Okay? So that's the whole essence of symbolism of Ram and Ravana. One is like force of nature, uncontrollable, who wants and grabs everything. The other doesn't want anything. Okay? And there's no feeling of doership. Everything is just happening. It's a leela, it's a play of Vishnu. Right? So Jaya Vijay were not bad. Ravan was not bad inherently. He was just playing a role as somebody's playing a role in a movie, like Amrish Puri playing a role of a bad guy. So that's why never think of anybody as good or bad in your life. Even your colleagues or relatives, everybody is playing a role. They're trying to do their best. So Ravan was also playing a role, trying to reach Vishnu through different lifetimes. So nothing is inherently good or bad. So remove this modern concept of an evil and a good, right? There's nothing like that in our culture. We learn from everybody and everything. Every story has a learning. Any questions?
Very heavy topic.
Heavy topic, yes.
It's really good in that way. If you start thinking, then it's hard to grasp everything. That's what at this stage, what I am feeling. Because like we all have like all those 10 heads as we mentioned, but which one should be controlled first so that
nothing should be controlled. Listen, this is the thing. You have to understand that these tendencies are the forces of nature. They are natural to us. We are a part of nature. These things, that's what I'm saying. If there's no lust, probably no child will be born, right? But the lust should not harm others. Correct? You understand the difference?
yeah,
That has to be controlled, like a dam on a river. You greed. I have a lot of greed too, but is my greed harming others? You know how many Surya Namaskar I did today? I did 108 Surya Namaskar today. I want to do it for a long period of time.
108.
I did, yeah, this morning. So there's a greed in me, right? But is my greed harming somebody, or is it conducive for my growth? I'm very greedy. I get very angry on my kids. I'm very strict mother. But is that anger raising my blood pressure? No, I'm just smiling inside and getting angry on my kids. So you have to understand to use these forces of nature. Okay? And use it for your own growth. That makes sense? Running away is not a solution, Reena.
No, it's running is away is not solution. But if you are angry, how come you can smile? It's very tough, like a.
You see, anger should not cause problem to you.
Mm-hmm.
Anger should not harm or put toxins inside you. That's the anger is a force of nature which you have to use and redirect into something. If you get angry, go and build up a nice resume and apply for a new job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving a suggestion if you're really troubled at your job.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one time, long time back. I was so angry at my job that I really prayed to God and made a new resume and applied for a new job, and I got that job.
Same happened to me. I was so angry and I just pressed the button apply, and I even didn't expect to move until the morning before they totally got me out of my brain.
So you have to accept these forces of nature. Again, there's no control in yoga because you cannot control. If you really get angry, can you control it at that time? It's impossible. Last time we talked about anger, that how you have to use anger, emotion in motion. Similar things. Same applies to any emotion. If you like cooking, really cook everything from fresh, eat healthy, try to develop taste for healthy food and cook yourself, So see what your weaknesses are. Turn those weaknesses into something useful for your growth. You cannot stop the forces of nature. If you're really proud of your work, do good things, create good projects, and feel good about yourself. That's fine. That will give you encouragement. As long as you're not boasting in front of the others or you're not putting others down, like your subordinates or your colleagues, right? It's fine. So that's why I'm saying, don't see these things as evil. I'm here to change your vision. Don't see Raavan as evil. We get very happy that Raavan was killed, and when we burn the effigy of Raavan, there's nothing, you have to utilize it. You cannot just burn it. And as you continue a practice of meditation, you'll feel that you're able to better utilize these forces of nature. Again, I'm not calling these bad things. These are just forces of nature. Again, these forces of nature should not cause harm. I'm repeating it again and again to others or to yourself. Utilize in the right direction.
New way of looking at things, and a new, I would say, eye-opening. And as Pradeep said, certain things are still, we have to take baby steps towards getting to that point where I think it will be a journey.
Yeah. So whenever there's a conflict in mind between your Raavan and your Ram inside you, you can redirect Raavan, in a particular way that it takes you towards Ram, because that's what Raavan was trying to do. No?
Reena is saying that no conflict between husband and wife.
I didn't say anything.
You're blessed to be in that situation, right? Not many people are, but you have a conflict somewhere else, right? So we are not devoid of conflict. Remember this. This life is not only happiness, not only sadness. It's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
But we always have to see that we are utilizing these so-called 6 enemies of our mind, or 10 heads of Ravana, which is inside us, for our own growth. Okay?
Yeah.
That's why I said, whenever there's a conflict between the Raavan and the Ram inside you, try to utilize that force of Raavan in such a way that you always go towards Ram. So that's how you have to go beyond and look at the deeper meaning of things, and which I always do. So with that in mind, so if you have Now, this is very important, I'm going to say. So if you have a Ravana in your life, okay, in a form of a person or a situation, try to give a different perspective to that person or situation. And then the maturity within your lives, like all these practices, should foster that maturity within you to give that person or see that person with a different vision or mindset. Everybody has a right to exist, and that there's a reason why there's a Ravan, so that we can appreciate Ram. That Ravan also has a role to play. Okay? See what that person is challenging within you, something within you. That means that person has come for your growth. Maybe you're not able to forgive people or forget things. That person is challenging you for that aspect of your life. So each one has to look within that, what are we getting challenged with the Ravanas in our life? Okay? And don't categorize, don't gossip about people that he's like that. Don't categorize people into good or bad, or they always say like that, or she's like that, or he's like that. There's nothing like that. This is a very modern concept, a Bollywood or a Hollywood thing, like this is evil, this is hero. In our culture, it was so mature that everything has a story behind it, and there was a reason for everything. And that character of Ravan also came to teach us something, show that contrast between Ram and Ravan. So always have that mind. If there's a Ravana in your life, see the contrast. You're able to see that itself is a blessing.
How to recognize the differences, or how to behave internally when you take someone as the good person and you positive towards, and then that good person does the thing towards you which hurt you.
Okay.
And then you naturally feel negative about him just out of the self-preservation. So you're trying to avoid to be open with this person, not to be in the same situation again. But that's mean you need to constantly maintain some negativity layer around him. So to be reminded that I need to be careful here, I better walk away. But that's mean you think negatively about this person. You have to.
Okay. Yeah, I got your question. So there are two aspects of it. Okay. What you mentioned, self-preservation, is very, very important. So first thing is, if somebody is really causing harm to you, even though they mean good or it's their own behavior, but it's hurting you in some way because you don't have enough strength to deal with that person or the situation, you have to create a boundary around yourself. Okay. That's what I teach in my Manas course. If you saw that flyer, it's coming in November course. If you want to join, it's a very powerful course. That's what I teach, all these things in a month's time. I teach, it's a 1 month course. The only time commitment is 15 minutes a day and 1 hour Sundays. So you have to create a boundary, and there are various ways to create a boundary. Second, you have to detach mentally that this person's behavior is that person's behavior. They are the owner of their behavior and opinion, not me. And I don't have to agree to it. Okay, even though I'm living in the same household or the same office, they have the right to exist with their own opinions and behaviors, because that's the best they can think. Because each person, if you see, they know that they're doing the best from their side, right? They're right. Everybody feels like that. So that person also has a right to exist and state their opinion. Now, it's within our jurisdiction whether we want to dwell upon their opinion and behavior or create a boundary causing a separation. Now, in intimate relationships or very close relationship, we don't want to do that. We want to feel one. But sometimes in life, there's no choice. You have to do that. You have to create that separation. It's a learned skill. Okay? It's very, very difficult. I'm telling you, it's not easy. But the more you practice, more you just let go that that's their opinion. Let them be with their opinion. I cannot help it. It's their opinion. Right? But I should not change my path because of that, or I should not change my behavior. I can create boundaries, but that frustration, anger should not build up within me. Again, it's not easy. It'll take time. Yeah, but all this, sit in meditative practice every day, 15, 20 minutes by yourself, just focusing on one thing, like a breath or a mantra or some sound. It'll help you. Okay? Very good. Good question.